Hello, I'm Sean.
And I'm Matt, and together,
We're the Daily Shatt.
Just take a drink. And welcome to the Daily Shatt. We are going to cover a lot of football, basketball, maybe a little something else today, so we got a lot of good stuff for you. But before we get into it, I have a fun fact for you guys. Did you know that the American flag, which we have today with the 50 stars, was designed by a high schooler, and he got a B- on the project?
Tough teacher.
Tough teacher.
I didn't know that. I feel like that's something we should, as Americans, know. Now you do.
I mean, I bet that teacher was a liberal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that your fun fact of the day?
It was fun. I mean,
You want another fun fact?
Alright.
Just to update you on the 2K standings, Sean is now winning streak of 6. So
Probably, like, my losses are probably like a combined of 10, 15 points.
a loss is a loss, homie.
This is true. This is true. Sean has been playing well lately.
All right, what are you talking about first?
We're going to talk about some major moves in the NFL, particularly the Browns.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I came out within 2 minutes of the Tyrod Taylor trade and said Browns make the playoffs in 2018.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I love it. Here's what's going to happen, and fill in any part you see necessary. They have Tyrod Taylor, so they're going to take Saquon Barkley at 1. They're going to pick a quarterback at 4, and it's Tyrod Taylor's team until that quarterback's ready.
So everyone that has half a brain will disagree with us about the Saquon Barkley as number 1. But I think you go Barkley number 1.
It's just like there's this
You
idea
take
out there
high
that you
risk.
can't take a running back
Exactly,
anymore.
especially anymore. Especially the 1. I don't remember the last time a 1 has gone to a running back, but
I mean, running backs are high risk, so I get it. But he's
high reward.
He's the safest bet a running back could be, you know.
But worst case is you take Barkley at 1, you still get a top 2 quarterback at 4.
Exactly, and you have a veteran quarterback who can mentor that player until he's ready.
Let me read you and I wrote this down, so let me read you the Cleveland Browns offense for next year. So we just mentioned one, Tyrod Taylor. So we're going to go with Tyrod Taylor as starting QB and Saquon Barkley as running back. Maybe not even starting running back because Duke Johnson's a solid running back.
So is Isaiah Crowell. I mean, they got that's
so Duke Johnson and Saquon Barkley. At wide receiver, Josh Gordon.
Who's still got it. If you don't think he's got it, you're up.
Corey Coleman and Jarvis Landry, who they just got as well from the Dolphins.
Which is going to make the average Tyrod Taylor we saw in Buffalo look a lot better. Guarantee it.
So if those guys can play well, I can't name another team in the NFL that has a better 6.
I mean,
QB, the 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and a solid tight end, and even a half-ass lineman.
He's
not Joe Thomas.
Okay.
Lineman overall.
I mean, Joe Thomas is the
great.
most respected lineman the past decade.
He's the only known lineman in the NFL. I think, and a good, decent defense, I think Cleveland Browns will make the playoffs
And the thing
in
is,
2018.
they don't have a bad defense right now, and we're not even talking about it. All the moves they made, they brought over a few guys on defense.
So I'm excited for them. We've been kind of a little fan of the Browns for a few years, and just liking the underdog. And
They're the lovable losers.
I think they're going to have a good year. So if they don't screw it up in the draft and take some nobody at 1 and
which
Baker Mayfield at 4, it's a horrible pick.
Maybe maybe not.
What does that do to the Bills? Prettyman is quarterback. Whatever Peterman is Prettyman.
Hey, maybe he's going to turn out to be a stud. He got thrown in there under a pretty crappy situation, so we'll see.
All that matters is we call the first. Browns make the playoffs in 2018.
Like immediately.
Matt will shave his head if that doesn't happen. Yep. So anyway, I like it. So
all right, well let's enough football for now. Let's get into some basketball.
Yeah, we're going to move on. So a few times me and Matt had brought this up in passing, and we are adamant about this.
Like
Ty Lue has got to go.
Has got
Ty
to go.
Yeah, we're calling for his head again for the 5th time this season on the Daily Shatt. Ty Lue's got to go.
We're taking a whole segment this time. We've usually just said it in passing. We are sick of it. So it gets a whole segment today.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's hear it.
the guy, you look at him on the sideline, and he's just a confused little man. And you coach defense. You coach defense. You coach hustle. I don't feel you can really coach offense very well.
In the NBA, not in the NBA anymore.
But if you put Coach Popovich in there, you've got a 60-win, 65-win Cleveland Browns with this year's Cleveland Browns.
Cavaliers.
Cleveland Cavaliers, whatever their name is, at least one winner in Cleveland. But Ty Lue's got to go. He's just the most confused little guy over there on the sidelines. And, it's just, I can't watch it. It's frustrating to watch because they have all the talent in the world and a coach who just sits there looking like a moron. Like he's lost out there and doesn't know how to coach the kids.
You're absolutely right. You take LeBron off this team, and it's not a bad team. They still have a lot of talent. Before and after the trade deadline, this team could win games without LeBron James. When you have LeBron James on your team, there is no excuse for what is going on.
They already have their future coach. It's called King James. LeBron James is a coach, so keep him happy, put him in both roles, and I think you see
one of them will be gone this offseason. I mean, Ty Lue should have been gone at the trade deadline.
You know what it is? You know what it is with
David Fizdale, who should have been fired from Memphis, should be the head coach. Should be walking the sideline right now in their game against the Lakers.
They're losing at halftime against the Lakers
because of Ty Lue.
Yeah.
And the front office for Cleveland should be ashamed of themselves. Like there's not even been a rumor that Ty Lue might be getting fired. They haven't done anything.
Now.
Oh, now
we're
starting it.
We're going to spread it.
Spread the word. Hashtag Ty Lue for being fired. That's a line.
That's a horrible hashtag.
We'll figure it out.
How about hashtag Ty Lue's head?
Hashtag Ty Lue. Yeah, okay. Roll with it. Hashtag Ty Lue's head.
But I think what it is, and we'll be done there, but I think what it is LeBron James likes to be dominant. He's the dominant male in that relationship.
He's the alpha and the omega.
And Ty Lue's just there to hold a clipboard. So, not a fan. If you can't tell, we're not fans of Ty Lue for what they're doing with the Cleveland Cavs. So.
A little more basketball. Houston. I've been skeptical all season because I feel like everybody's playing for second, including Cleveland, when they're at their best. But I think it's time. And at first I was just thinking Houston, but even Toronto. I think both of them.
Toronto, with what they've done the last 2 weeks, has shown me that they deserve the 1 seed and may win the East.
Yeah, that's the question for debate right now. Is Houston and is Toronto legit? Are they legit? Are they legit contenders in the West and in the East? Can they take down Golden State and Cleveland? Because we all know LeBron's going to turn it up in the playoffs and going to make the East Conference Finals.
Yeah, but they're going to be a 4 seed, so he's going to have to really turn it up.
I mean, he's never not done it. So.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Toronto has a better chance of making the finals than Houston does.
I disagree. On that.
Golden State's won it. If they're healthy going in, they've won it. They've got that. And I don't think James Harden's a leader.
That good. He's not. It's not. When it comes down to leadership, it won't be him. It'll be Chris Paul. And I know you hate Chris Paul, but I
like Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul's commercials. I can't stand his acting on the court.
Yeah,
I like his acting on screen. That's a good one.
It is a good one.
I like it.
But you can agree that his game is great.
Chris Paul?
Yeah. His game is great.
His game's solid. His attitude.
Smack him. But there's a stat that when Clint Capella, James Harden, and Chris Paul are on the court, they're 35-2. That's not circumstantial. That's not.
If your big three includes Clint Capella, you're not going to the Western Conference Finals, and you're not going to
who's going to win this matchup? Zaza Pachulia or Clint Capella?
Zaza.
No.
Oh yeah, he will.
He looks like a beaten down Rocky. After Drago beat the snot out of him.
Yeah, guess who comes back and wins every single time? Rocky. Zaza.
He's okay, but notice the only time Rocky's faced the black guy, those are when he's lost. He lost to Paul, he lost to the big guy.
You can't bring race into this thing.
Zaza's
better, not as good because he's white.
Yeah. All right. So
I disagree.
My prediction is, I think out of the two teams, I think Houston's got a better chance of upsetting in the conference finals than Toronto does. But I both think they deserve respect to being legit at this point.
I give Toronto a lot more respect. I think they've quietly done it and done it well. I don't like Houston. I don't think Houston can do it. I don't think D'Antonio's offense it's meant to put up big numbers, but it's not meant to win a championship.
Would you say they got a fighter's chance? If they get hot for a 4 or 5 game stretch?
You know who I'm afraid of? San Antonio.
with the clock coming back.
Utah, but I think we'll get to that in a minute. But you put Kawhi Leonard back in there, and they could be the most dangerous 7 or 8 seed that we've seen. And so if you're Houston Rockets facing the Spurs in round 1, it's not a free pass.
I agree. The fact that San Antonio stayed relevant without a big name out there, because LaMarcus Aldridge is good and he's great in a Popovich scheme, but that's it. You put Kawhi out there with him.
So who goes to the East Conference, West Conference, and who wins the finals? It's a little premature, but
I'm going.
That's what you do.
It's going to have Houston and Golden State. I'm going Golden State in 6, and I'm going Cleveland and Toronto, and Cleveland in 7. And then, as much as it hurts me to say it, I don't think the Cavs have it to beat the Warriors. So, Warriors are going to win their 2nd in a row. And
you put Warriors in Cleveland. You put Cleveland back in the finals.
Absolutely. I'm not counting out LeBron.
I can't. I know. I agree, but.
What's your take on that? Who's your Final Four?
That's a tough one. You good there?
Yep. A little thirsty.
I like Cleveland going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I like Cleveland being upset by Toronto.
Hurts you to say that, doesn't it?
It really does. But what I've seen from them the last couple of weeks. So I'm gonna say Toronto, Golden State, and Golden State wins it. And I hate that even more.
If you haven't caught on already, you'll soon catch on that me and Sean are pretty avid LeBron fans. We have faith in him.
But the Jazz get to the 6th seed?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how close
sure,
the conference is. Go for it.
There's like
the people want more, Sean.
What's the 4th spot at? They got 28, maybe 27 losses in the 3rd and 4th seed, and the Jazz in the 10th seed have 30. So they're all within 2 games, and the Jazz are playing lights out, can't lose, won't lose on the road. So if they get into a 6 or a 7 seed, and again, they can't lose on the road, they don't.
All those West hopefuls
scary.
Have got to hate the thought that Kawhi's coming back next week, though. They got to hate that.
I think Utah's more dangerous in the playoffs than San Antonio, only because they'll play more games on the road, and they're road warriors.
I like it.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps up this segment of the Daily Shatt. Coming up Wednesday, we will fill out our brackets live, and again, you'll see how much more of a genius I am. You can go second, so you can follow me, and then we'll bring back another start. We'll bring back another start bench cut. So throw out your start bench cut stuff, and we'll take it.
Yeah, ideas for start bench cut and ideas for other topics to discuss. Like I said, we're always happy to have what you guys want to say. So
that's it. Thanks, Matt.
Till next time.